Brilliant. Okay then. So if you want to lie down on your mat and just take a moment to find a good position. So just a gentle reminder, you should be feeling the sacrum nice and earthed on the mat. You can give your head and neck a little pull. So you've got a bit of a nod in the chin. Try and relax the ribs so you feel the back of the ribs on the mat. If you want to take the arms up to the ceiling and then allow them to hang deep into the shoulder joints before just placing your body, whole arms on the floor just for a moment. And then you can relax a little bit. It's always a bit worrying restarting class, even for me. And then I'd like you to put your left hand on your chest, real high up where you can feel your sternum, and your right hand on your tummy. And close your eyes and start to breathe. So breathe in through the nose and breathe out through slightly pursed lips. And just keep breathing for the moment and start to notice whether your left hand, the one on your chest, is rising before the right hand on your tummy. And try breathing through the nose simply to get that hand on the tummy lifting and lowering and nothing happening on the chest. And you can extend the breath, maybe breathing in for 4 counts and breathing out for 4 counts. No need to force anything at all, and move both hands down to the tummy. And you can then just allow your elbows to reach the floor either side. So there's no tension, and continue to breathe in for 4 and out for 4. Directing the breath deep and low. And then move your hands up your body so you find just below the rib cage where the ribs start to separate. If you just lightly put your fingers there, intertwined ever so gently, and the same breathing pattern, in for 4 and out for 4. Hopefully not feeling any tension through the shoulders. And if you direct the breath up through your nose, through the back of your head, and imagine it going down deep into your ribs, you may then feel that the ribs expand sideways and the ribs that are on the mat fill with air. So you're moving your diaphragm down into your body, expanding the rib cage and the intercostal muscles. And as you breathe out, the diaphragm will lift back up underneath the rib cage. And you feel your fingers lifting together a little bit. And it's this area of the body we're trying to engage as we do the exercises, getting that breath into the back and sides of the ribs, giving full support, full space. And just a couple more. And then gradually unlock your fingers, just place your arms down by your side. Have a little notice of how you're feeling, hopefully a bit more relaxed than at the start. Double check your position, and then we'll move on to our pelvic tilt to warm up. So breathing out, soften the lower back into the mat, a little breath to hold, and breathing out to realign yourself. So of course the shoulders remain nice and wide, doing nothing, just a few tiny tilts with the lower back and the pelvis. Warming up nice and slowly. And working up a little bit higher. So just hover the bottom off the mat, really getting that tilt, the pubic bone towards the chest, even at this low point, and then placing it back down again. And using the breath, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through slightly pursed lips. And you might want to feel a little bit of extra heaviness through the feet as we curl up a little higher to get the rest of the legs engaged. Breathing out to soften again through the body to place yourself back down. So at this point, I'm curling up just to the base of my ribs, holding it there. On the next out breath, softening through the front to place the spine back and unpeel. And let's go up to bra strap level, breathing out, peeling off. Breath in to hold there. And if it helps you, use your fingers. So just walk them down through the front of your body so you can get that feeling of piece by piece, pearl by pearl, extending the back down to the mat. Ready to go again. No arms for the moment, just really want to focus on waking the spine up, keeping the curve of the pubic bone towards the chest. Breath in at the top and breathing out. Use that breath to really soften the front of the body to help place the spine down. One more without arms. Healing off. Breath in at the top. And then as you peel down, breathing out, you can circle your arms around up towards your head. Feel that lovely stretch. And bring the arms back down by your sides. And as you peel off this time, take the arms around again. Nice arm circles in time with the pelvic tilt. Breathing in, the arms come up to the ceiling. Breathing out, softening through the body, placing yourself back down, taking the arms down by your sides, circling round as you peel off again. Breathing in to hold arms to the ceiling. And breathing out, continue the movement. And then reverse the direction. So on your next out breath, as you peel off, bring the arms up to the ceiling again. Continue over your head as you breathe in. And as you peel down, circling around the side. And you might feel one way is a little bit easier than the other. Try and keep the ribs engaged. And the body still softening down, so getting the pubic bone curling and the ribs softening through. And 2 more in this direction. Feeling the feet nice and earthed, whole body engaged. Cramping, yeah, that makes you cramp. It makes me cramp too. Shows it's working. And then on your last one, just leave your arms by your side. Engage those abdominal muscles. Think tummy, button, spine. Lifting one leg into tabletop. Lifting the other leg so the knees are together. Just angle them slightly further away so you've got to really engage through the abs. And we'll just do some little toe taps, nice and slowly. So I like to breathe out to tap down, breathe in to come back up again. And you're making sure using those abdominal muscles that you're not arching your back off the mat. So if you feel you're arching as you're moving, just bring the knees slightly closer to your body. And you can think about the back of your leg doing the work. So a little squeeze of the bum to help take that toe down to the mat. Relaxing the shoulders. Breathing, as always, in through the nose, out through slightly pursed lips. So Elaine, think about taking your toe a bit further away from you so your whole leg is opening rather than just tapping down. That's it. And even though this is a very small movement, it's still working everything. Keeping control of the trunk of our body and letting our limbs move independently. Relaxing the shoulders. One more on each side. And then when you're done, feet can come back to the floor. Arms up to the ceiling, palms facing away. Again, little reach to the fingertips to the ceiling, keeping the arms straight. Draw the backs of the shoulders down to the mat. Re-engage the abdominals, and then send one arm behind your head and extend one leg away for arm and leg slides. Again, trying not to pop the ribs up, so you're keeping the ribs engaged with the pelvis at all times. And you're trying, like we do with the dog, to minimize any rocking and rolling on the changeover. And I like to breathe in as you extend and breathe out. You use those abs to draw the limbs back to the starting point. That's it, so nice and slow and controlled. That's it, lovely. And the more you can use your breath, the freer it will become, and the more meditative, if that's the right word. Really just focusing on your body. One more in each leg. And then we'll set up for some curl-ups. And we will have hands behind head, but what I'd like is thinking, find the bony bit of your head and place one palm on that, and then place your other palm over the first palm. So you should feel extra widening and stretch through the front of your body and the back of the shoulders. So breathing out, think about tummy button to spine to draw you up without pulling on your head, and extend back to the mat. So breathing out to curl up, just sliding the ribs forward, breathing in to return to the mat. And it might feel a little different with the hands in this position, very subtle change. Trying to keep the base of the bum firmly earthed, and just sliding those ribs forward. That's it. Make sure there's no pulling on the neck. Really take your focus to the front of the body, curling you up. That's it, Elaine, good. 2 more. And then swap the hands over. So the one that's underneath, put that on top. So palm over palm. And go again. Breathing out to curl up. Breathing in to return. So again, different sides of our bodies will have different impacts on what we're doing. Elaine, perhaps move your feet ever so slightly further away from you to give you a little bit more room to move. That's, yeah, I think that's a bit better, good. No, that's looking lovely and easy. Keep the intensity, the lower abdominals, drawing the ribs forward. Jackie, again, try and stop yourself before you need to shimmy from side to side. So you might not come very high, but it's still that intensity of the abs doing the work that you try and get. That's it, that's better. And 2 more. Hopefully all these micro movements, we would still feel it in the next few days. And once you've done, just release your arms back to the mat. And you can either keep your feet together flat on the floor, we'll do hip rolls, or if you want to bring them into tabletop, feel free. If they're in tabletop, breathing in to take the knees over to one side, keeping the shoulders on the mat, breathing out, draw back to center, and exactly the same down. Keep the knees in line, keeping as much of the upper back on the mat as possible, using the abdominals again, always to keep control. That's it. Elaine, you find this really easy. Try not to take the knees over so far to the floor. Find the point that you've just got to control a little bit more through the deep abs. Because you're very flexible. So you want to make sure that's in control. Yeah, good. Jeanette, if you want to extend your legs so they're long, give you a bit of extra work. No, fair enough. There's always choices. And that's it, Jackie. Again, don't go so far. Make sure the knees stay in line with each other. So if you've got one sliding in front or behind, just stop before that point happens. Keeping those shoulders nice and relaxed, everybody. Keeping the breath going. And have one more to each side. And then hug your knees in. Have a little rock from side to side. And then take the elbows wide. They're on your shins. Press your shins away. Nod the chin. Curling up, drawing tummy button to spine. We'll do our single leg stretch. So lift and extend the knees away ever so slightly, keeping the chest towards the knee, extend one leg and change. So come back to the starting point. I'm not wanting your knee to come into your chest. I'm wanting your chest to come towards the knee. And just keep breathing. And 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And then hug your knees in. Have a little rock from side to side, rolling over onto your side, coming up to sitting. So we'll do our spine twist, our stretch forward and then soar. So if you want to sit on a block for a bit of height to release the hip flexors and for a bit of comfort, that's fine. Or if you want to sit with knees slightly bent up, that's fine. Ideally, you're finding your sit bones, legs are long and straight and together. So starting with spine twist, arms out to the side. So imagine you've got a pole up your back and across the shoulders. So you can see the fingers out of this peripheral vision. And as we breathe in, we think tall and rotate the ribs, keeping the arms still. Breathing out, tummy button draws us in, and we're thinking a little corkscrew up to the ceiling. So maybe breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. What's the thought? That's it. So always with the rotations, you're going as far as your ribs will take you. Both bum cheeks stay earthed onto the mat and the arms don't move. You'll start to feel tension through the shoulders, so think long and relaxed. Jackie, if you can, think forward a little bit with your body. No, okay, fair enough. So you'll start, no, okay, that's fine. That's lovely. Good, Jeanette. And again, with the long legs, anybody, if you see your feet shifting, make the rotation a little bit smaller, just trying to keep those legs glued together. One more to each side, because I know this is hideously hard. Well, I find it hideously hard. So I'm blessed with being able to watch you. And so I have to do them all. Then yes, give your legs a little bit of a shake and we can separate them ever so slightly. So again, adjust the position that you know you're going to be able to work with better today. If you need to have your knees bent and sit tall that way or sit on a cushion or something, feel free. Otherwise, think drawing the arms deep into the shoulder sockets again. And we're going to breathe out, nod the chin, reach our upper body forward, keep the arms on the same level they start, and imagine someone's pulling your waist away from you so you end up like a little hairpin, and then breathe in to sit tall. So starts off drawing in through the tummy, reaching the upper body forward, sliding the arms away, and the head between the arms, and then sitting tall again. So keeping that space between ear and upper shoulder. That's it. So we're trying to get a nice curve in the back as much as the back will allow. So it's not about hinging at the hips to go forward. It's that flexion through the spine. Lovely. Well done, Jackie. That's great. Nice and smooth, Jeanette. Good. Lane, that's good. Don't need to bounce it, just go as far as you're comfortable and then restack the spine. 2 more. Breathing out, drawing the tummy in. Use the diaphragm coming up into the body to give you space to move. Breathing in to sit back tall. And then again, give your legs a little bit of a wiggle if you want to. Just shift about after your last one. Keeping those legs in the position you've got them to all seem to be quite wide. Arms out either side of the outside of the leg. Again, sitting tall. Think shoulders down, we will soar. So breathing in to rotate. Breathe out, reach for the little toe. Keeping the opposite bum down. Heel back up. And then center. So breath-wise, breathe in to rotate. Breathe out to reach. Breathe in to stack up. Breathe out to center. And again, every time you come through that center point, think a little bit taller. That's it. Good. Keep the toes pointing in the direction they start. Neither leg will be moving, it's just the ribs. So you might not reach very far, it doesn't matter. Again, it's all about getting that flexion and extension through the back rather than hinging at the ribs. Good. So one more to finish yourself up. Balance yourself off. You've gone to one side, do the other. And we'll release out the legs a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the saw forward, then take the back hand behind us, palms out to the side, just squeeze the bum to lift up a little bit and come back down. And then you can use that back hand to press you forward the other way. That's it, lovely. So remember, as we lift into our plank, don't take it in the shoulders. Don't take the shoulders up to the ears. Think, squeeze the bum, press your heels into the ground if you want to. Lift yourself up. Nothing happening through the shoulders. It's all strength through the body. That's it, lovely, Elaine. Good, Jeanette. Lovely, Jackie, nice and easy. One more to each side. Good, great strength. Yeah. So, when you've finished your last one, choices for you. We will be rolling backwards, as in roll down to the mat and then coming up if you can. You can either have your knees bent up and hold onto the back of your thighs, take yourself down, or nice long legs, arms out in front. Really work with how you're comfortable today. So I'll work with long legs, arms deep in the shoulder sockets, breathing out, using all that mobility we've been working on through the spine. Take down to the mat, arms overhead. Breath in or roll onto your side. And flex the feet, your legs along to come back up again. And again, a nice roll forward, ready to go again. So it really does depend how you're feeling today. If you want to focus just on the rolling back, make sure you just roll over onto your side before coming up. And everyone keep their shoulders nice and wide, arms long and relaxed. It's all about using those abs. Good. And breath as arms come to the ceiling, nodding, lifting, breathing out, tummy button, spine. That's it. Don't force it, Jackie. So stubborn. And if you want something a bit stronger, you can put your hands on your forehead so you're not getting any help from the arms. Let me watch. That's it, laying it relaxed. Tummy button to spine. Think about the spine reaching. Yes, that's smoother. Good. Oh, well, no, that's good, you know. That's good. You've got nothing to help you. It's incredibly hard. Good. Teaser, Jackie. Hope you are excited. I have to do that so you can excel and show off. One more. Everybody rolling back. And you can stay down on the mat after this one. And then roll over onto your front. And we'll work on our back extension. So arms down by your side. Think about where your legs are. You want the front of your feet on the mat, back of your palms on the mat, the shoulders rolling a little bit forward, nose hovering. So if you want to pad under your forehead, feel free. Then on your in-breath, lift the shoulders away from the mat. Breathe out, the arms lift ever so slightly. Reach your fingers towards your toes. Breath in, rotate the arms so thumbs end up towards the ceiling. And then breathing out again, place yourself down and allow everything to relax forward. So you should feel the pubic bone earth in the mat as you breathe in. Breathe out, reach and hover the fingers towards your toes. Legs don't move. Breathing in, rotate the arms, thumbs to the ceiling. And breathing out. Place yourself down and continue using your breath. That's it. So breathe in. Just lift the shoulders as if they're trying to kiss behind you. Breathe out, reach fingers down towards the toes, hovering the arms. Breath in, rotate the arms, thumbs to the ceiling. And breathing out, coming back down to the mat. So I should see no movement in your legs, in your bum. It's all the upper body and the upper back. And the crown of the head reaching away. That's it. And all this work is in the upper chest and upper back. Didn't feel anything in the lower spine at all. If you do, just keep the hover a little bit lower towards the mat. Lovely. And the obligatory 2 more. Breathing in, lift the shoulders away from the mat. Breathe out, reach fingers towards the toes. Breathing in, rotate and turn the thumbs to the ceiling. And breathe out, back down to the mat. Final time, lifting the shoulders. Breathe out, reach fingers to toes. Rotate the arms, thumbs to the ceiling. And then breathing out, place yourself down. If you need to sit back into a child pose, just to stretch out the back in between, please do so. And then come back down to the mat. All right, you've all stayed there, fair enough. Just draw your arms around in front of you. Separate your legs ever so slightly. Think about sending your tailbone away, pubic bone into the mat. And then think squeezing the bum to lift the legs. Think drawing the shoulder blades down or back to lift and hover the arms, crown of the head reaching away, and then tapping down opposite arm and leg. Starting off nice and slowly, again, aiming to minimize any rocking of the body. If it's too much today, just stay down and think lengthening away arm and leg to lift and hover and place it down. Really not in the business of trying to hurt anybody, so work with how you're feeling and how comfortable you are in any position. You can rest in between. And if you're in that hovered position and are feeling comfortable and movable, you can speed it up to see where the point is that you can't control it anymore and your body starts to rock. Keeping the legs as straight as you possibly can. That's it, lovely. Good. And I'll just give you a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Definitely sit back into a child pose, knees nice and wide, sending the heels or the bum towards the heels, stretching the arms away from you. It's quite intense, that one. Be down. And then as we're here, we can come onto our hands and knees. And we will do the dogs that are so similar to swimming, just a different position. And finding that quadruped position, as it's the first time since Christmas, have a look between your knees to see where your toes are. They should be in line. 4 fingers probably facing forward and the creases of your elbows facing in. And then breath out, just extend a leg, lift it without dipping and arching, and draw it back. So what's happening, drawing my stomach into my body to keep me nice and safe. And imagine you're balancing your drink on your pelvis at the back. And another one, maybe a plate of canapes left over from celebrations on your upper back. So you want to keep those still. Where the changeover happens. And you're keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Nice straight back as far as possible. All the engagement up through the abdominals. Shoulder blades wide and down the back. That's it. Good. Use your breath as well. Have a play around, breathing in to extend and breathing out to come back, or vice versa. Everything being lifted from underneath you to keep the back secure. That's lovely, Jeanette. Good. One more on each side. And if you need to just release the wrist, please do take a moment to do that. We're going to go back into the dog, just add on a little curl up in the middle. So you've got elbow and knee coming towards each other, and then your back will arch. So a bit of a cat, bit of a flexion everywhere, bit of balance, bit of strength. So again, on the changeover, you want to think the shoulder is down away from the ears still, to avoid any tension and pinching. That's it, lovely. Good. Keep breathing. Good. Step on each side again. Very nice. Good. And then you can sit back again, release the wrists, because we're just doing one more sort of plank exercise. So from the hands and knees, just stepping out one leg, then the other. So the bottom is probably in line with the shoulders. We'll just hold it there. And then what I want to do is just take one leg out to the side and back again, and then the other leg out and back again. So a few of those, and then stepping it forward and back. So we're just holding the upper back nice and securely. So everything is coming in from the underneath, from the tummy. Elaine, it looks like your bum's really high, so drop it a bit if you can. That's looking better for me. If it's too much for anybody on their wrists, you can come onto your forearms and do the same thing. Remember the old oranges under armpits. Make sure there's no tension in the shoulders. Just do a couple more of whatever you're doing, out to the side or forward. Jeanette, lower your bum a little bit. Yep. And then relax once you feel you've done enough. Good work, really nice. Okay, grab a cushion or something. So we're going to start working on our sides, and I'll start with a nice chest opener, because that's almost a relaxation thing for me. Knees bent up, so imagine you're sitting in a formal chair. Think about the underneath shoulder away from your ear. And again, stack shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip. And you can relax into the mat. So breathing in, you just lift an arm to the ceiling. Breathe out, it's the ribs rotate. Watch the arm go behind you. The arm goes as far as the rib goes, so mine's nowhere near the floor. Breath in there and then breath out, re-engage the abdominals. Come back to the start, hopefully palm over palm. And go again. Breathing in to open, rotate, breath to hold. And then on your next out breath, re-engage the abdominals, slide the ribs around again. Bring your arms back to the start. And one more. Keeping the lower body nice and stable. Again, just the upper body and the ribs rotating. Breathing out. Come back. That's it. Then extend the underneath arm if you can. Extend the legs away so you can see them. And hand either in front for balance or along the side of your body. Again, draw the underneath shoulder away from your ear. And we will double leg lift. So lifting up, hovering, looking at the mat ever so slightly. And coming back down again. So breathing out. Legs are glued together. Doesn't have to be very high. trying to make sure we don't roll forward and back. And if you think the legs are going behind you as you lift, just bring them forward a little bit more to start with, because I really don't want to feel any tension in the lower back at all. And that's it. Any tension in the neck as well, just turn your head to look at the mat. Breathing out to lift. And breathing into lower. That's it, lovely. Good, nice and slow. Have one more. And then we will lift the top leg to hip height. Imagine someone's pulling it away, it's got nice length. And then we just squeeze the underneath leg up to meet it and place the underneath leg back down again. Breathing out to lift, breathing into lower. So we're getting our inner thighs working. Always the bane of my life. And again, if you need a hand in front for balance, that's perfectly fine. Try to isolate the movement. Good. Holding that top leg still as you can. Imagine someone's pulling it away from you. Two more. And then staying here, take the underneath leg forward, lift the top leg to hip height, and then it's two kicks forward with a flexed foot, squeeze the bum, point the foot to take it behind you. Again, try to keep the body still for this one. There are lots of different versions of thigh kicks, but today, again, trying to keep tension away from the shoulders. Just get the movement through the hip joint and the pelvis. Leg nice and long and straight. That's it, very nice. And as the leg kicks forward, just notice if you think you're sinking into the mat a little bit and try and think lengthening it away first. One more. Good. And time's running out. So I'd like you to bend your knees again, come up onto your forearm. So you think lifting up away from the mat. We're going to lift the knee and the whole lower leg. Hand behind the head, palm over your bony bit. And we're going to take the knee behind us, keeping it on the same level. At the same time, just rotate the ribs towards the arm and then come back up and then open the knee and close the knee. So a bit of a combination of shell and a little twist, having to draw the abdominals in. Bit of coordination. That's it. Close. Rotating as the leg goes behind. Trying to keep it at the same level. It's quite ouchy. Must be good for us. There's a two-way stretch as you rotate round and take the leg behind you, and then a little shell at the start. One more. Good. And then roll over onto your other side, starting with, again, the rotation of the chest release. It's much more relaxing than anything else. So when you're ready, breathing in, arms to the ceiling, breathing out, rotate the ribs, keeping the lower half nice and still. And again, you might notice this side is easier to move than the other, or not. And on your next out breath, re-engage the abdominals if they've just gone for a little sleep, to bring you back to start. And again, breathing in, arms to the ceiling. Breathing out, rotate with those ribs. Good. Everyone seems really stable around the pelvis. That's lovely. And final time. Breathing in. Breathing out. Rotate. Watch your arm go. Watch the ribs go. And then on the next out breath, draw everything back. And once you're back in your position, extend the legs, extend the underneath arm if you can. And again, just have a moment to feel your body this side. Ready for double leg lift. So gluing the legs together, breathing out, lifting and hovering. Breathing in, come down to the mat. Remembering you don't have to come too high. Shoulders should be relaxed. Underneath waist will be drawing away from the mat. Keep you long and low as you come up without banana-ing in at the waist. That's it. Good. Remember, any twinging in the lower back, just angle the legs forward. Every time, just relax the shoulders in between. Looking very nice, Elaine. Very stable. Good. 2 more. Final one. And then lift the top leg to hip height. Lengthen it away so someone's pulling your leg or you're pulling the pelvis away from you. And squeeze the inner thigh and lower it down. So the feet don't get involved. It's just taking your intention. Inner thigh, doing its lift and lower. Good. Again, I find this harder to keep the shoulders relaxed. So really, again, trying to keep the body stable, any tension removed. And that's it. 2 more. Feet nice and relaxed. And then angle the bottom leg forward. Lifting the top leg to hip height. Flex the foot, 2 kicks forward. Squeeze the bum. Pointed foot to take it behind you. Again, so it's a nice stretch through the hip flexors as the leg comes behind. And hopefully, I'm not just arching my back and swinging forward with my body, keeping that nice and stable. That's it, lovely, good. One more set. And then bend the knees, come onto your forearm. Remember, underneath waist, drawing away from the mat, shoulders away from the ears, lifting the legs to hip height, hand behind head, and then extending the leg behind us, rotating the upper body forward, recentering, and then doing a little shell. So hopefully, well, my intention is as I take the leg behind me, my knee isn't dipping down, it's staying in the same alignment. Get that two-way stretch and a little shell at the end. That's it, good. Good, everyone. We'll have two more. Lovely, then yes, come back down to the mat. And I think the time is pretty much gone. We will just do to finish. We'll do a bridge because that is so good for back. Anyway, we're all getting a bit niggly. So feet back, flat on the floor. Think about squeezing the bum together, breathing out to lift in a nice long line. Then the knees over towards the toes, shoulders relax, and back down again. And again, breathing out, think narrowing at the hips, squeezing the bum to lift. And back down. Sorry about the cramp, two more. You can bring feet close to the body if you cramp in this position. And final time, lift. Extra squeeze of the bum. And down. Good. Then extend the legs away from you. Hug in one knee, so hold the back of the thigh. Draw it into the body. Doesn't need to be really hefty pull, but once you breathe for a few moments, you might find the knee comes closer towards the chest. Just holding it there. Allowing the other long leg just to relax. And then take the opposite hand to the knee, on the outside of the knee, drag it across the body. Again, you can try and pull it up a little bit more. You might feel a stretch through the side of the bum a little bit. And just breathe into that. Again, you can take your breath pattern maybe to the 4 in and 4 out. Good, relaxing, centering breath. Then come back to the center point, extend that leg away, and hug in the other knee. Hopefully it's stretching down through the upper hamstring, but also, even though the knee's in towards the chest, it's releasing off the hip flexors a little bit as well. It sounds counterintuitive, but they will stop and relax, and then take the outside of that leg, draw it into the body and across. More breath here. Then keeping the knee bent, bend up the other leg, cross the ankle over the top of the thigh, and just bring in the other knee towards your chest. And then that will definitely increase a little bit of stretch around the hip. So you're going through the gap in your legs with one hand, And the other hand around the underneath leg as well. That's it, Jackie, yep. Left arm through the gap and hold on to the back of the thigh of your right leg. That's it with both hands. Yeah. And then let's change sides. So I've got my right leg on my left leg. My right arm goes through the gap onto the left leg. Left arm holds the left leg as well. And that can just relax and dangle. And my right elbow is pushing my thigh of the right leg that's bent. So I'm getting an extra stretch around the glute area. So this is really nice if you've got piriformis syndrome, where you get sort of sciatica pain. It's quite often that little muscle. This is a good release for that. And then relax. Roll over onto your hands and knees. We're going to come up by tucking the toes under, drawing the tummy button into the spine, rolling up one vertebra at a time, nice and slowly, and finish with a side bend. So sliding down one side. If you're happy to, just take the opposite arm up overhead. Other arm comes up to meet it. Reach for the ceiling, so nice and tall. Press down away, and one the other side, sliding down. Arm up and over, and come up to meet. Up to the ceiling, and press away. Lovely, well done.